I want to talk briefly about the president in Europe. No, not what you've heard all day, but what is he doing and what exactly did he accomplish? You don't know, do you? Nobody does. But we know what he didn't do, and we know he continues to cow down to the world's worst regimes. Erwin Stelzer, in the D.C. Examiner, a columnist from London, he says, "It is 60 years to the day since Harry Truman signed the Marshall Plan into law to give much-needed aid to a prostate Europe. It is one day since the Europeans told Barack Obama that they have no intention of helping him to stimulate the world economy. German Chancellor Angela Merkel, presiding over an economy that was saved by America 60 years ago, that has been supported by American consumers ever since, wouldn't play. Neither would French President Nicolas Sarkozy, whose nation's memory of the liberation of Paris they so easily surrendered has dimmed with time. Fortunately, none of this mattered very much, as no knowledgeable observer expected much of the G20 meeting. The action was off stage where Obama tried to accomplish three things. The first was to make up for his rude treatment of Gordon Brown when Britain's Prime Minister visited the U.S. last month. By denying Brown the full-blown press conference to which Tony Blair was always treated, twin podium, flags of both nations, cameras whirling, and then presenting the Prime Minister with a thoughtless gift of some DVDs that don't work on the UK system, Obama handed the anti-Brown British media a gift. So Obama atoned for what might have been a gaffe by effusively praising Brown for his leadership in organizing the G20 meeting and devising bank bailout schemes. Obama then sought to press the reset button in U.S.-Russian relations in a private meeting with Russian President Dmitry Medvedev. So intent is our president on heaping blame on George W. Bush that he apologized for America's part in allowing our relations with Russia to quote-unquote drift. Never mind that Russia had cut off natural gas supplies to our European allies, invaded Georgia, threatened Poland by placing missiles on its border, and bribed Kyrgyzstan to deprive us of our last military airbase in Central Asia. Seems more like, well, what? Not very much like drift. But not to worry. All will be sorted out when the president visits Moscow this summer and exposes Vladimir Putin and the Russian people to his star power. Obama then had his first meeting with his Chinese counterpart, Hu Jintao. Although this was billed as merely a get-acquainted meeting, Obama immediately agreed to two Chinese requests, that he visit Beijing and that China be given a larger voice at the International Monetary Fund and other institutions, which he agreed to. The small matters of human rights, North Korea's missile launch, and China's recent proposal to have the dollar replaced as the world's reserve currency didn't even come up. And today the president is at a NATO meeting where he will be told by our allies that they are unwilling to send more fighting men and women to help us in Afghanistan. That refusal will be papered over with talk of trainers for the Afghan army, logistics support, and perhaps even a bit of money. But a refusal it will be nevertheless. And he goes on, but he's right. How can this be called a success? Because Obama's popular in Europe? Because Obama's popular with dictators of various varieties? What exactly did we succeed in doing? And it'll get worse. I'll get to that in a minute. And then I read this breaking story before I come on the air from the Wall Street Journal. President Obama plans to lift a long-standing U.S. ban on family travel and remittances to Cuba, a senior administration official said Friday, in what could be an opening gesture toward more openness with Castro. He's also given the cold shoulder to Israel. They're reaching out to Hamas. They're reaching out. Ladies and gentlemen, this president's foreign policy is simple. I don't care what the neo-statists say, those who tell us to nod at him, to praise him for his Afghan policy. He is making nice with the wrong regimes. And he is making our dear allies very nervous. He's spending more time reaching out to Cuba than Taiwan and Israel. And I really don't like it when a president of the United States goes overseas and trashes his predecessor, directly or indirectly. I want you to hear some of this, because he actually goes further. He trashes us. Oh yes, he slaps Europe a little bit, but he can't help it. He has to slap us hard. Let's get cut 2 ready, please. Now here is Obama about America is arrogant. Cut 2, go.
In recent years, we've allowed our alliance to drift. I know that there have been honest disagreements over policy, but we also know that there's something more that has crept into our relationship. In America, there's a failure to appreciate Europe's leading role in the world.
Stop. Europe's leading role in the world. What is Europe's leading role in the world? Does anybody know? Europe isn't leading the world. Go ahead.
Instead of celebrating your dynamic union and seeking to partner with you to meet common challenges, there have been times where America has shown arrogance and been dismissive, even derisive.
See, ladies and gentlemen, I have nothing but contempt for a president who talks this way. Who apologizes for you and me. It is utterly grotesque. You're president of the greatest country on the face of the earth. There's a reason why we're the greatest country on the face of the earth. And furthermore, ladies and gentlemen, and unfortunately many of our young people don't know this or haven't been taught it or read about it, we saved Europe. We the Yankees, the Yanks, we saved Europe. And it cost us dearly. Europe is the birthplace of Marxism. Europe is the birthplace of fascism. Europe is the birthplace of Nazism. Europe is the birthplace of communism. These are all massive genocidal tyrannies that sprung from Europe and from the minds of Europeans. So, I'm not exactly sure what it is that we're supposed to be celebrating. We have wonderful allies, of course, but to go over to Europe and talk about America as, well, you know, we got to fix our relations. I know we've been arrogant. How have we been arrogant? We have 80,000 soldiers in Germany and Japan to protect the European continent and the Pacific, and to be able to propel forces as necessary anywhere around the world. We have a Navy that's all over the world's oceans, not just protecting us, but our allies. We carry their burden. We pay for it. We pay for it in flesh and treasure. When Africa needs money for AIDS, do they turn to the French, the Germans, the Russians, the Chinese? They turn to us. And we give it. We help them. When there's a disaster anywhere in the world, who's there first and in force and stays until things are taken care of? Us. We do that. These countries that Obama is kowtowing to, where do their people want to come? They want to come here. They want to escape from there. America isn't arrogant, ladies and gentlemen. America is precious. America is precious. It's a gem. And if people don't get it, including the president, many in his party, many people listening to my voice, if you don't understand how precious this nation is, then you don't get anything.